The global trade landscape is evolving rapidly as traditional relationships shift, new alliances emerge, and alternative trade routes take shape. Recent geopolitical shifts, driven by the US strategic reorientation in global affairs, have triggered a realignment of priorities and partnerships. From escalating US-China trade tension to the rise of the Middle Corridor and the expansion of BRICS, today's business and logistics leaders must prepare for a transformed world. These dynamics have also put the US on the back foot, with the administration hinting that India has tilted to dark China. Meanwhile, this week's BRICS summit focused on tackling global trade tariff and countering unilateral economic measures adds yet another layer of complexity to the shifting geopolitical landscape. In today's episode of Logistically Speaking, we will unpack the impact of these changes on supply chains, explore emerging strategies, and highlight how critical minerals and new alliances like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization are reshaping trade flows. In a bold new chapter of geopolitical and economic cooperation, India, China, and Russia, key members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization or SCO, are strengthening their partnership through trade facilitation, infrastructure development, and coordinated response to sanctions. This alignment is designed to smoothen trade flows across Eurasia, accelerate digital custom integration, and build new transport corridors that reduce reliance on Western-dominated systems. Within the SCO framework, these nations are working more closely in trade, infrastructure, and energy, while also building resilient supply chain that can withstand global shocks. This partnership represents a clear strategic pivot in global trade governance. For India especially, it creates opportunities to connect its growing manufacturing base more directly with the Chinese and Russian markets. While no binding deal has yet been reached to trade exclusively in local currencies, the recent summit reinforced momentum towards reducing dollar dependency. And if supported by reliable systems and trust, this shift could gradually reshape the financial landscape. For logistics, this means new corridors, more advanced custom processes, and diversified routes. Traditional shipping lanes may face competition, pushing global logistic players to innovate and adapt. Meanwhile, the expansion of BRICS, now welcoming 6 new members, is accelerating a tectonic shift in world trade. Anchored by economies like India, Brazil, China, and Russia, the enlarged grouping aims to boost cooperation and reduce dependence on Western financial institutions. This expansion will foster new trading alliances, alternative financing mechanisms, and greater South-South cooperation. Emerging hubs across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East could soon become vital centers for goods, technology, and investment. Taken together, the SCO alignment and BRICS expansion point towards a multipolar trade architecture where power is distributed, routes are diversified, and businesses must rethink strategies for sourcing, manufacturing, and logistics. For India and its partners, the message is clear. The world trade map is being redrawn, and those who adapt fastest will shape the future of global commerce. The US-China trade relationship continues its turbulent evolution, with tariff, export restrictions, and geopolitical rivalry escalating in 2025. The US introduced heightened tariff and weaponized export controls targeting Chinese tech and strategic industries, while China retaliated with its own tariff and export limitations, particularly on rare earth minerals critical for global manufacturing. This tit-for-tat fight was profound implications for global supply chains. Multinational corporations are pushing towards China Plus One strategies, diversifying manufacturing beyond China to countries such as Vietnam, India and Mexico to mitigate risk. However, supply chain complexity increases. Logistic costs rise due to longer routes and custom delays, and uncertainty hampers investments. Industries most affected include consumer electronics, automotive, semiconductors and pharmaceutical, which rely heavily on Asian manufacturing. Meanwhile, US companies are also pushing domestic manufacturing through initiatives like the CHIPS Act, while China continues its strategic industrial advancement. Overall, this trade war is forcing a fundamental rethink of where and how goods are produced and moved globally. Amid ongoing trade tensions and disruption, the Middle Corridor, the Trans-Caspian International Transport Route, is emerging as a vital alternative to traditional Eurasian pathways, linking China to Europe via Central Asia and the South Caucasus by bypassing Russia, and offers faster transit than the Suez Canal with greater reliability than other land routes. Growing investment in rail, logistic hub and customs reform reflects its rising strategic value. For India, closer ties to this corridor could unlock new market and partnership while driving demand for advanced logistics, intermodal solutions and streamlined border controls. Critical minerals such as lithium, cobalt, rare earth elements and nickel have become central to technological innovations, energy transition and defense. Securing reliable supply chains for these essential materials is now a strategic imperative. China currently dominates the rare earth processing and refining globally. However, geopolitical tensions and supply disruption have triggered a race to diversify sourcing and boost domestic production in countries including US, Australia and India. India is actively developing mineral reserves, fabricating domestic supply chain for lithium-ion batteries and solar technology, aiming to reduce import dependence. The logistics of critical minerals pose unique challenges, demanding infrastructure for mining, refining, transportation and storage with high security and environmental standards. Efficient supply chain design is paramount for countries looking to lead in clean energy and high-tech manufacturing. The US-China trade conflicts, the rise of Middle Corridor, BRICS expansion, critical mineral supply challenges and new alliances within the SCO represent profound shift setting the trajectory for global supply chains. For businesses and logistic professionals, adapting to these trends means diversifying sourcing, investing in new transport corridors, upgrading supply chain resilience and aligning with evolving geopolitical realities. Well, if you found this overview of global trade evolution insightful, please like, share and give your comments on how do you see these changes impacting your supply chain. Subscribe for more continued analysis on the world of trade and logistics. Thank you.